Hello students, welcome to this computer class. Today I am going to start with this chapter, which is chapter number 1, hardware and components. I have already completed this part in the online class. So in this class, first I will summarize the previous part and then I will teach the new topic. So let's start. A computer comprises of two major components, hardware and software. Hardware refers to the physical component of a computer. You can touch and feel it. It can be categorized into external hardware and internal hardware. Next is internal hardware. Internal hardware components are fixed inside the CPU cabinet. Internal hardwares are motherboard, CPU, RAM, ROM, disk drives. Under disk drive, we have hard disk drive, CD drives and DVD drives. Next is SMPS, heatsink, cooling fan, modem, sound card, video card, IO port are some internal hardware components. Next is motherboard. The motherboard is a printed circuit board or PCB. The full form of PCB is printed circuit board secured with screw inside the CPU cabinet. This is the picture of motherboard. It contains all the necessary electronic devices and circuits and data communication buses, interfaces, sockets where electronic signals, power supply and other hardware components. All other hardware components, both internal and external, are attached to the motherboard directly or indirectly. Some of them are hardware, some are plugged in expansion slot, while some are connected through ribbon cable. A ribbon cable is a flat white cable made up of a number of insulated wire grouped together. Next is CPU. CPU is also known as processor. The full form of CPU is central processing unit. It is also known as brain of the computer. It is mounted in the slot of motherboard here. It executes all the instruction it receives from the hardware and the software running on the computer. Next is RAM. This is the picture of RAM. RAM is a temporary storage unit of computer. A RAM unit made up of a PCB on which a number of integrated circuit, means IC chips, are soldered. RAM is a volatile memory unit, which means that it loses its content when the power is switched off. Hence, it is a temporary storage unit of the computer. Next is ROM. This is the picture of ROM. ROM is read-only memory. It is a non-volatile memory unit that holds the data permanently and does not lose its content even when the power is turned off. RAMs are soldered in the slot meant for them on the motherboard. Actually, CPU, RAM, ROM, these parts are soldered or connected with the motherboard. The contents like data and instructions are stored in a ROM by manufacturer of the computer at the time of its production. Next is hard drives. So we have hard disk drive, CD drive and DVD drive under disk drives. First is hard disk or hard disk drive. It is the most common example of disk drive which have high storage capacity. Hard disk drive consists of set of platters or hard disks on which it is recorded or read by a read-write mechanism called head. In this picture, this small circle is the head. The head is located at the end of an arm, and this mechanism is called arm, similar to the found in the photograph. Data can be recorded on both sides of each of the platters. It is platter. This big circle is the platter. One or more hard disks are installed inside the CPU cabinet. The operating system software and other installed CPU are stored on a hard disk. User can also store their file folder directly on the hard disk. This data can be accessed by user anytime. Hard disk is a permanent storage device. Next is compact disk. Full form of CD is compact disk. Full form of DVD is digital versatile disk or digital display disk. So a compact disk or digital versatile disk drive is also installed inside the system cabinet. You can read, write the data and or information on a CD or DVD through this drive. In this picture, this is the system cabinet. So now the new topic is switched mode power supply. This is the full form of SMPS. Switch mode power supply is also called power supply unit or the PSU. The full form of PSU is power supply unit. It has a socket into which the power cable is plugged from the power switch board. It converts the input high voltage electric current, means AC current, to low voltage or DC current and supply it to the motherboard and the other parts of the computer. The main purpose of SMPS is to convert high voltage AC current to low voltage DC current and also supply it to the motherboard and other parts of the computer. It has a built-in fan to release the excessive heat and cool the computer. This is the picture of SMPS. Next is a heat sink. The main purpose of heat sink is also cool the computer. A lot of heat is generated in the CPU and in some other devices such as graphic card. A heatsink is a device made up of coils of a heat conducting metal. It is mounted on devices that generate heat, from which heat is fanned out of the cabinet to keep the system cool. The next topic is PCI. Full form of PCI is Peripheral Component Interconnect. It is a interface to connect hardware components to the CPU and the hard disk drive. Usually, the internal modem, the sound card and the video card are connected through PCI slot fixed on the motherboard. So the main purpose of PCI is to connect internal modem, sound card and video card with motherboard. Next topic is modem. A modem is a hardware device that connects a computer to a communication line such as an internet cable. It stands for modulator and demodulator. So the main purpose of modem is to connect a computer with internet. It stands for modulator and demodulator. Modems are of two types. One is internal and external. An internal modem is designed on a small PCB which is installed inside a computer in a PCB slot. This is the picture of an internal modem. Internal modem provides an external socket for a telephone line connector and the connection to which requires network access, phone number and login credential. So if we want to connect our computer with internet, we need this internal modem which has telephonic line socket. So this socket is used to connect with internet by network access phone number and login credential. This is commonly known as dial-up modem. So internal modem which helps to connect with internet through telephone line is known as dial-up modem. So that's all for today. In the next class I will discuss about sound card, video card and then ports and then external hardwares. I hope you all understood these concepts. So see you in the next class. Thank you.